Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the Engine Builder Show. Today, we will be talking about the three most talked about marketing campaigns of all time and what you can learn from them. This is going to be a special episode, and if you like the sound of that, enjoy the show. Good morning, everybody.
There was always a ton to learn.
All right. Surprise, it's not Gabe. Good
Good
morning,
morning.
everyone. So this is a special episode. I'm gonna be hosting today's episode, accompanied by one of the awesome team members of BME, our creative director, Alanna. Hey, Alanna, how are you?
Hi. Thank you, Jethro. I'm doing well. How are you?
All right, I'm fine. Thank you for
Good.
asking.
Good.
I think this is the first time the Engine Builder Show will be seeing you. So tell us a little bit about yourself. You know what you do here at BME, just so that they get to know you.
Yeah, sure. I started here in July of last year, and it's honestly been a blessing ever since. So I always love the team, and it's always wonderful to work with all of our clients and everybody. So I started out here as a SEO copywriter, and then I became our creative director here. So I oversee all the creative
Woo-hoo.
departments. I know it's awesome. So I oversee all the creative departments. So copywriting, graphic design, video editing, and I help with some marketing strategy here, and among a plethora of other things. So it's always wonderful.
Yes, you are awesome. You always get me out of the muck when I need help. So
Yeah,
thank you
so
for that. All right. So as mentioned a while ago, today the both of us will be, just discussing the top three most talked about marketing campaigns of all time and what we can all learn from them. So yeah. Um to start off, one of the number one, we want to talk about Coke's ShareACoke campaign. So yeah, Alana, for those who don't know, what is it?
yeah, so I think it was around 2007, 2008, and I think it started in Australia, if I'm not mistaken. But Coca-Cola launched their Share a Coke campaign, and it was that one
Mhm.
where all the Coke bottles you would see, all of the Coke cans just had a name on them, and it was like Share a Coke with, and it had, I think it was the top 150 most popular names. Or most
Yeah.
common names, and they were in vending machines, they were in convenience stores, grocery stores, anywhere you could buy a can of Coke. And
Awesome.
it was really interesting because, I think that all of us who participated in that or bought Coca-Cola during that time, it was so much fun. It was like, oh my gosh, of course, they never had my name. So that wasn't
Yeah.
as fun for me, but they had so many other ones. And I think there's just a lot that we can learn from that one because, first of all, Coca-Cola is obviously a huge, huge brand.
Exactly. They've been here since the when how old is Coca-Cola? Since the 1900s?
Yeah, yeah, it's very, very old brand, and it's always done well with branding. It's very distinct, always stands out. Their brand reach is huge. So,
Yeah.
we can think about their polar bear campaigns, going to the movies and seeing those little polar bears drinking
Yeah.
Coca-Colas. Um, but
Amazing.
this one was special, I think. I think that there are three things that it can really teach us about marketing.
Yep.
The first one being that your business is really never too successful or doing too well that you don't need to continue to market and build a relationship with your audience
Hmm.
because um like I said, Coca-Cola has been around for as long as
Decades,
yeah,
decades, centuries
very
old.
yeah, for a very long time. But they still made this effort here to personalize the campaign sort of, so putting the name
Yeah.
of people there and encouraging people who are all love their brand to just like talk about it. I think that was
Yeah.
really smart. Regardless of how successful they were, they still made an effort there. um,
Exactly. It's sorry to cut you off, but
no,
then
please go
it
ahead.
just brought me back to like our guiding principle, like relationships first. Like with
Yes.
that campaign, it was like, you give a Coke to your friend with the, whoever had the name on the can, and then it will be like, hey, thanks, bro. Thanks for remembering me. It just strengthens the whole relationship and stuff like that. It was really, really awesome campaign.
Yeah, I loved
And
it.
yeah, what
um,
else can you
well, I think
share about it?
yeah, I think the second is or really gamifying your content. So,
Yep.
with your campaigns, so, it made it so fun, especially for every age group who partook in their brand. I mean, people go to a vending machine during that time and they're like, oh my gosh, which one am I going to get this time? Like, I hope it's going to be my name, or is it going to be a funny name? And it's just
Yeah.
kind of really made things more exciting. And you'd think that, like I said, for my first thing of what it could teach you, they didn't give up. They weren't just like, if we've been here for forever, you know who we are, whatever. They made it fun, and that's really awesome to me, because marketing is fun, and building relationships with people is fun, and it's important. So
Yep.
that's really the other thing. And then I have one more. But do you have any thoughts otherwise about gamifying?
No, but it was like because of that campaign, it was always every time we see like, I think if I'm not mistaken, other brands also kind of tried to do it.
Mhm.
I'm not quite sure, but I think I saw because it was like in the past, but then like nobody can do it as good as Coke.
It's true.
Like
Yeah.
once you start because they're also one of the biggest names, and also they did it first, or at least one of the brands did it first with engraving the name of like someone on the can. It's really like you'll remember like, hey, that's what Coke did. That was like
Exactly.
sharing the drinks and
Yeah.
sharing the love, the positivity.
Exactly. And like, that kind of goes into the last thing about, the last thing that I think you can learn from this campaign is being personable and building relationships is really key. It kind of
Yeah.
feeds into those other two things, but I mean, they also took it a step further, and they might still have it live, a site where you could go and you could order your own personalized Coke cans, Coke bottles,
Yeah.
probably any like sort of Coke merchandise. You could just order and actually put your name on it. So those people who are like, I wish my name had been, available in the vending machines, or, at the store for me to get. And then it was, because they could just go on there, and
Yeah.
it was highly successful.
Awesome. Yeah, that something to remember. Coke ShareACoke campaign. So yeah, that was our first top 3 with the most memorable marketing campaigns throughout the years. And up in number 2 is the Volkswagen 1960 Think Small ad campaign. So quick overview, I guess, is during the 60s, it was all about the Mustangs, the muscle cars.
Yeah.
And then Volkswagen just came out with the Beetle. That's what they call it, right? The Beetle.
Yeah, the Beetle. That's 100% right. And this is probably one of my favorite ad campaigns of all time. I think that those of us like marketing and advertising nerds can agree that this was legendary. So it was 1960. So it was the DDB ad agency, and they launched this print campaign on behalf of Volkswagen. And it was really important because it was at this point still the post-World War II consumers. They were still mainly buying large. They were buying these large cars, American made. They wanted all American made. And they didn't like those smaller German cars, of course. But the DDB ad agency put out this Volkswagen ad campaign that just was like, it kind of like stared you in the face, and it just like was
Exactly.
like, it said think small, and it was just these tiny little small scale images and graphics of the Volkswagen Bugs, the Beetles, and it was
The
just on the
Beetles.
page, and it was like think small, and it's just like they just looked at you in the eyes and they were like, yeah, that's exactly who we are, we're small. And amazing, it was amazing. And they weren't letting that stop them. The idea of being small, they were embracing it, and that's what paid off.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thus came out the movie Herbie. I don't know if anyone's seen that.
Believe
Well,
it.
always remember Herbie, the Volkswagen.
You'll never forget.
Never forget. All right, but the biggest lesson here really is authenticity always works. Authenticity always sells. Staying true to yourself pays off, both literally and figuratively when it comes to marketing and advertising. Don't you think? Don't you agree?
100%. Yeah. It's authenticity is one of the most important things, not just in, your personal life, but it carries over into your professional life. So when it comes to marketing and advertising, being authentic, not trying to be something that you're not, and just owning who you are, that's where you're going to find your people.
And it was like during this time, the 1960s, this was like the time of like Woodstock, where everybody had like the American cars with the hippies and the bell bottoms, and then here comes the German car.
Here comes Volkswagen
with the huge bump on as a roof, and then like really small.
Yeah, and it's
It's old.
now it's a huge icon. Even you see it, you don't some people probably today don't even realize that it is a German vehicle. I'm assuming like the younger generation
Exactly.
has no idea. So that's always really interesting that it's just really been growing from there. And that was a great launch. And I think that anyone, like I said, who's really into advertising and marketing, can really learn something from that ad and also just think it's really exciting and fun and cool.
Yeah.
So
Awesome. So yeah, that is our number two of the top three, and on to our third and last. This one just really this was one of my core memories because I didn't growing up, like I didn't have like fancy cell phones because I was a kid. But then like seeing this ad on like in the internet or like through like videos, this is the third one, and this is Apple's "I'm a Mac" campaign. So
yes.
do you remember that, Alana?
I do. I remember it so vividly. Being a lot younger and seeing this come onto the TV and being like, "What is this?" And my oldest brother being like, "This is legendary." Like
Right.
he's not he didn't used to be as much of a Mac guy, but I guess Apple is sort of eked into the collective
Yeah.
minds.
And it was so cool because it was like a businessman, or like not even a
Yeah.
businessman, but it was a guy in a corporate suit,
Mm-hmm.
and then a guy in just a laid back hoodie, a shirt, some jeans, and
Yep.
some like sneakers. And he was just like, "Hi, I'm Mac." And then
Yeah.
the older guy is like, "Hi, I'm PC." Like,
It was so good. Yeah. So
it
these
was so
TV
good.
commercials, just like, and I think that the campaign went on. I think it started in like 2005, 2006. It went on for
Yeah.
years
Yeah,
after.
it was like it kind of like it came like a mini series
Yeah,
online.
it was so cool. They were long commercials too, and it was so interesting. Yeah, the hi, I'm a Mac, and then hi, I'm a PC, and then the PC, he loved talking about work. He loved, he was sneezing the whole
Yeah.
time. And it was supposed to show the two different computers that you could have
Yeah.
in your phone, the different processing systems. And so
Uh,
it was great. Obviously, it was showing that the Mac was better, bigger, and better than PCs,
yeah.
and that
More
was
chill,
oh yeah.
more
It was
relaxed.
there were like a few things that could really teach us that I think that we could all still learn from,
Yep.
honestly. First being sometimes it pays to take risks, calculated risks, measured risks, of course, but it was pretty risky, PCs, all the different kinds of PCs, they still had such a place in consumers' minds at this point and in their homes. And Mac was like, no. We're gonna take this risk, and we're gonna. It was edgy. It was a little edgy. It was fun, and it was done well. And then also, I think that you should always know everything there is to know about your competitors. Probably even better than your competitors know themselves, I would say.
Yep.
And that's what they did. They couldn't have made these really long commercials if they hadn't done their research, if they hadn't gotten to
Yeah.
know their audience and their
Exactly.
audience. Yeah.
And this was a time when like Mac was still coming up because Bill Gates with Windows. I mean, that ad didn't take jabs on Windows, but when you say I'm a
It
PC,
implied a lot of it. Yeah.
yeah, it's like you imply Windows. But like
Exactly.
there was a time when like Apple was trying to make like a footprint in the world,
Yeah.
and look at how Apple is now. It's one of the most leading, as Gabe mentioned in one of his episodes in the past. He said Apple is one of the richest cash rich businesses in the world,
Yeah.
and that's crazy.
It is crazy.
Going out of your comfort zone. When it's
Yeah,
like,
exactly. You're going out of your comfort zone for it. You're like they did with this, you're believing in your brand. You're having confidence in what you have
yeah,
to offer. You believe in what you have to sell. And that's if you don't do
exactly,
that, then nobody else is going to believe in it either. But Mac believed in it
exactly.
here, and look at Apple today. So
Exactly. They literally showed up, as Gabe likes to say. You have to
they
show
did.
up for your
You have to
audience.
show up. That's like the first step is you have to show up. So
Gabe's watching. Hey, Gabe.
Apple for
Apple for
life.
life.
Hi, Gabe.
Yes. We
Thanks for
miss you. Thanks for tuning in.
but
All
yeah,
right.
show up and
Yeah.
believe in yourself, have confidence, be authentic, take measured risks,
Yep.
and embrace who you are. And
Embrace who you are, really. Like you just gotta be confident, If you really
exactly.
believe it's gonna work, it's gonna work.
Yep,
That's how it is in life, not only in like business, but like in life.
exactly.
You have to trust in yourself. You have to like believe that you're capable of going over like these hurdles in life. And like
Yeah,
if you see your end goal, the end goal is the end goal is just like the celebration, but it's really the journey of
yeah.
reaching
Exactly.
your goals.
Carries over into your professional life too. It's all important.
You heard it here, folks. The Engine Builder Show, not only about marketing, but also about life.
Exactly. Exactly. It all is the same.
All right. So, yeah, that is our top three most talked about campaigns or most memorable campaigns of all time. I hope everyone enjoyed. Thank you so much for tuning in. I am your host, Jethro, accompanied by my amazing co-host, Alanna. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks
Yep.
so much. And thanks everyone for tuning in.
Yep. And if you want to learn more about Business Marketing Engine, please head over to businessmarketingengine.com and we will see you on the next episode. Bye, everyone.